Yes, sir. We are back. Today is Monday. For all the ones who haven't done it, please make sure you do your test. Grades went in. I just being honest with you, if you want to take care of your grades, send me an email and we can work something out. But grades are in, and that's just how the cookie crumbled. For those of you who did your Booker project, I do appreciate it. For those of you who didn't, you missed out on those points. You have to take the test, and you got to take the test in the 4 weeks. If you haven't taken the test in the 4 weeks and you haven't taken the test in the 6 weeks, you already know where you at. If you're having issues logging in, you better call somebody. Call somebody, text somebody, figure out a way to get a pigeon to me. You get a pigeon to me, I can help you out. You don't get a pigeon to me, I'm gonna assume you don't care about my class and we're gonna move on accordingly. All right, that's enough of my soapbox. Today, we're talking about storytelling. Storytelling is real big because everything that we use for entertainment usually has something to do with a story. There's a story in movies. There's a story in TV shows. There's a story even in your TikToks, right? And I know y'all love y'all TikToks because I watch the dances and this and that. And I think the dances are cool or whatever, right? But what about the glow up TikTok, right? The story is this is me, here I am, but watch how I can glow up, watch how I can do my process. And when I come back, I look good or amazing. These are all things that happen. You can analyze this and you can call these stories. All right, so today's student objectives we're talking about. Students will know the impact of storytelling, right? Students will understand how to utilize the power of storytelling in order to depict what is taking place in the text. When I say the text, I'm talking about the poem. And when I say depicts, I'm really talking about what happens. You're going to see these type of words. You can't be afraid of these words, even if you don't know them. I'm going to teach you how to use context clues in this lesson. Please watch the video. If you don't, you ain't gonna. All right. Students will be able to compare and contrast the effects storytelling has on the meaning of a particular text. Point blank simple, I can tell you a story, right? And I can tell you a story that's basically written from the text. Or I can just tell you a story, period. Once I tell you that story is either going to entertain you, inform you, or whatever. At the end of the day, usually you're going to be entertained or informed. You see stories all the time, you just don't realize you see them. When you see headlines in your Facebook and Instagram, ads coming in, sometimes some of those ads they inform you. Then you have some of those ads, they entertain you because it's little movies, little this, little that. I know I watch some YouTubers and Instagrammers, and they're mainly comedians, but in their little skits, they entertain you. But they're telling us little stories, small, simple, little story. TikTok has a lot of little comedians for 1 minute sessions, and in that 1 minute session, they can figure out a way to get that story across and to get you to click in and like it, whatever you do on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok. I just know TikTok is out there. And I know TikTok is very prevalent. Also, I believe TikTok getting cut off in like November sometime. So, my advice to you: get all the TikTok you can right now. There's a possibility TikTok will go. All right, you can blame 45 for that one. All right, moving on. In storytelling, form can change the meaning of the story. Now, we worked on form earlier, which was, I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday, but we worked on form. Well, it was Thursday. We worked on form because we looked at Dear Jordan. When we looked at Dear Jordan was one where you could just take bits and pieces and create your own story. And when you took those different pieces, that was a form poetry, right? That was a form poetry. And it didn't technically change the meaning because you were using the same words and it was already jumbled up. But if you take another poem and you jumble up those words, meaning probably gonna change. You have 80% chance of that meaning changing. So form means a lot when it comes to poetry. Form, the way the speaker has designed the form, will tell the story he wants the audience to listen to. The audience is the people that's reading, basically you that's reading. Okay. Meaning of a story, the story is a meaning, is basically the same as theme. Now, we talked about theme a long time ago. We talked about theme when we was reading Mrs. Long. If you don't remember what a theme is that moral lesson. Theme is something that's implied. Theme is something that's stated. Theme is a summary. Theme is a summary of what happened and being able to tell me what this is about. Now we back to meaning. Some words have the same meanings. We just use different words to say the same thing. That's English. Nothing you can do about that. Pay attention to what's going on, and we're gonna learn and we're gonna move forward. All right. So my next slide says narrative arc. Narrative arc is an extended or continuing storyline in an episodic storytelling media such as television, comic books, comic strips, board games, video games, films, with each episode containing a dramatic arc. I left one out. I'm gonna put it in there. Poetry. It's not just poetry, it's really narrative poetry. Okay. Class, what's an example of narrative poetry? Yes. Okay. You kind of you right. It is the crossover. The crossover is a form of narrative poetry. Every one of these poems in the crossover is telling a story, and it's adding to the story collectively. It's little stories that make up a big story. The reason why you see storyboards is movies are built on storyboards. Okay? TV shows use storyboards so they can keep all the ideas fluid and organized. Okay. So what I'm saying is a narrative arc is something where you're going to read it, but it's constantly adding what you already read before to build a bigger story. That's narrative arc. Now, the reasons about that, that's what it is. That's all I got to say right now. We're going to move on to video two. Check you out on the next one. Peace.